Namaskar. A warm welcome to World News and Indian Perspective on All India Radio. This is Renu Kataria and with me is Saira Mujtaba bringing glimpses of the major developments of the day from across the globe. Over the next half an hour, we shall bring you the latest from the world of politics, economy, sports, entertainment and more. The headlines. Indian men's badminton team creates history, lifts Thomas Cup beating Indonesia 3-0 in Bangkok. Lakshya Sen, Kidambi Shrikant and duo of Chirag Shetty and Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy produced sterling performances. Prime Minister Narendra Modi speaks to the winning team, says nation is elated by the win which will motivate so many upcoming sportspersons. Prime Minister to attend Buddha Jayanti celebrations at Lumbini in Nepal on Monday. India-UAE strategic partnership will progress and scale new heights, says Indian Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba says more US weapons and other aid are on way to Ukraine. Finland's President Sauli Niinistö confirms his country applying for membership of NATO. Indian men's badminton team on Sunday scripted history by winning the Thomas Cup for the first time ever, dethroning 14-time champions Indonesia in Bangkok this afternoon. In a heroic effort, India defeated Indonesia 3-0 in the finals of the prestigious team championship. World Championships medalist Lakshya Sen, Kidambi Shrikant and world number 8 doubles duo of Chirag Shetty and Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy produced memorable performances and won the tie in first 3 games itself. Sen gave India a 1-0 lead with a come-from-behind win over world number 5 Anthony Sinisuka Ginting 8-21, 21-17, 21-16. The doubles pair of Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty then defeated Mohammad Ehsan and Kevin Sanjaya Sukamuljo 18-21, 23-21, 21-19. In the second singles, Shrikant then produced a fine performance to outclass Asian Games gold medalist Jonathan Christie 21-15, 23-21 to seal the contest. It is India's maiden medal and that too gold in this tournament. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated the Indian team on their epic win. Mr. Modi said that the entire nation is elated by India winning the Thomas Cup. He wished the team for their future endeavours. He hoped that this win will motivate many upcoming sportspersons. Mr. Modi also interacted with the players of the winning team on phone.
Sir, thank you so much. जिस दिन हम लोग क्वार्टर्स जीता सर उस दिन हम लोग ने डिसाइड किया कि हम तो एंड तक फाइट करेंगे ही करेंगे सर, हम जीत के ही वापस जाएंगे। तो पूरा टीम ने बहुत मेहनत किया सर। आपने जो कोचिंग है सर ये भी सब अभिनंदन के अधिकारी हैं।
Kidambi Shrikant said that it was his absolute honour to have spoken to Mr. Modi. In a tweet, he said the Prime Minister's words of support makes his success sweeter and stronger. Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur also congratulated the Indian team for winning the Thomas Cup. He said this extraordinary feat with successive victories over Malaysia, Denmark and Indonesia calls for matching honour by the nation. The Sports Minister also announced a cash award of 1 crore rupees for the team to acknowledge this unparalleled feat.
भारतीय बैडमिंटन टीम ने आज इतिहास रचा। 73 सालों में पहली बार थॉमस कप जीतकर एक ऐसा कीर्तिमान स्थापित किया। मैं अपनी ओर से और सभी देशवासियों की ओर से सभी खिलाड़ियों को बहुत बहुत बधाई और शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। इसमें 14 बार की चैंपियन इंडोनेशिया को तो 5 बार की चैंपियन मलेशिया और डेनमार्क को भी हराया है। ये छोटी नहीं बहुत बड़ी उपलब्धि है। ये प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के लगातार प्रयास, उनकी योजनाएं जो खिलाड़ियों को प्रशिक्षण भी देने का काम, सुविधाएं देने का काम, मनोबल बढ़ाने का काम समय समय पर किया है और हमारे खिलाड़ियों ने भी पूरी ताकत लगाकर एक के बाद दूसरा चैंपियनशिप जीतने का काम किया।
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and several other leaders also congratulated the Indian team. Celebrities from the sports world and other fields wished the Indian team on winning the cup. Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli, Ajay Devgan, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin and several other prominent persons took to Twitter to greet the team.
Indian shooters made a clean sweep on the women's 25 meters pistol competition at the ISSF Junior World Cup in Seoul, Germany, to consolidate their lead at the top of the medal tally on Sunday. Rhythm Sangwan won the gold, Manu Bhaker silver and Namya Kapoor bronze as India completely dominated the event. Rhythm topped the round with a score of 588 while Manu was second with 584 and Namya third with 583. India also swept all the three medals in the 25-meter sports pistol for junior men through Shiva Narwal, Rajkavar Singh Sandhu and Sameer. India was on top of the medals table with 9 gold, 10 silver and a bronze. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be on an official visit to Lumbini, Nepal on Monday on the occasion of Vaishak Budh Purnima. He is visiting the Himalayan nation at the invitation of his Nepalese counterpart Sher Bahadur Deuba. At Lumbini, Prime Minister Modi will visit the sacred Maya Devi temple to offer prayers. He will also deliver an address at a Buddha Jayanti event organized by the Lumbini Development Trust under the aegis of the Government of Nepal. During the visit, Mr. Modi will also participate in the Shilanyas ceremony for the construction of a unique center for Buddhist culture and heritage within the Lumbini monastic zone. The construction of the unique India International Center for Buddhist Culture and Heritage with a universal appeal will be undertaken by the International Buddhist Confederation, India, under the auspices of the Lumbini Development Trust with the financial support of the Ministry of Culture, Government of India. International Buddhist Confederation is a grantee body under the Ministry of Culture. The Buddhist Center will be the first net zero emission building in Nepal. Also, on the occasion, the Ministry of Culture, in collaboration with the International Buddhist Confederation, is hosting a program for the Vaishak Budh Purnima Divas celebrations in New Delhi. The significance of the timing of Prime Minister's visit to Nepal is to coincide with the inauguration of Lumbini Buddhist Center with the holy Vaishak Budh Purnima Divas. The day is recognized as the thrice blessed day that marks the birth, enlightenment and Mahaparinirvan of Lord Buddha. While Gautam Buddha was born in Lumbini in Nepal, he attained enlightenment in Bodh Gaya in Indian eastern state of Bihar. He preached his first sermon at Sarnath and attained nirvana in Kushinagar, Uttar Pradesh in India. Lumbini is the holy place where, according to Buddhist tradition, Queen Mahamaya Devi gave birth to Siddhartha Gautam at around 623 BC. Among the early pilgrims was Emperor Ashok, who erected one of his commemorative pillars there. The site is now being developed as a Buddhist pilgrimage center, where the archaeological remains associated with the birth of Lord Buddha form a central feature. Some of the other viharas and monasteries in the area are the Myanmar's Golden Temple, Tara Foundation Temple, the Sri Lanka Monastery, the Korean Temple, the Cambodian Monastery and the Vietnamese Phat Quoc Tu Temple. Lumbini is one of the holiest and most important places in Nepal, as a result of which it was included in the list of World Heritage Areas by UNESCO. The International Buddhist Confederation India, with its headquarters in New Delhi, was formed in 2013 as an international Buddhist umbrella body to serve as a common platform for Buddhists worldwide. A report from our correspondent.
This will be the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's 5th visit to Nepal since 2014 and his first visit to Lumbini. Prime Minister Modi's visit continues the tradition of regular high-level exchanges between India and Nepal in furtherance of India's neighborhood first policy. It underscores the shared civilizational heritage of the people of both the countries. During his visit, Mr. Modi will also hold a bilateral meeting with his Nepalese counterpart. Anand Kumar for World News, All India Radio, New Delhi.
Talking to AIR News, former Ambassador Ranjit Rai said that Prime Minister Modi's visit to Lumbini will strengthen cultural ties between the two countries.
Prime Minister's visit will demonstrate the importance of Buddhism in the relationship between the two countries and the need to develop this Buddhist circuit for pilgrims from all over the world. And I think there is also a political or strategic dimension to the visit. There is China, which is also Nepal's neighbor, has been actively trying to exploit the soft power potential of Buddhism. And they have invested in Lumbini in a big way. They have constructed a very big monastery. They sponsor conferences on Buddhism. So I think Prime Minister's visit to Lumbini demonstrates that this is a very important aspect of India's foreign policy, of India's relationship with Nepal.
Mr. Rai also said that this visit also aims to enhance economic engagement between India and Nepal.
Both our countries want to develop rapidly. So the focus of our relationship today is on strengthening the economic engagement and cooperation between our two countries, whether it is in terms of development of hydropower, development of infrastructure, development of tourism between the two countries. So you can say that these age-old relations are now being reinvigorated and re-strengthened, deepened, enhanced in the modern context through our economic partnership.
India's Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu on Sunday offered condolences in Abu Dhabi on behalf of the government on sad demise of Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the former president of the UAE and ruler of Abu Dhabi, who passed away on Friday. Paying rich tributes to the late president, Mr. Naidu observed how Sheikh Khalifa showed visionary leadership for the development of the UAE, building on the legacy of Sheikh Zayed, and greatly strengthened the India-UAE partnership. He took exceptional care of the large Indian expatriate community in the UAE. During his meeting with the newly elected president of the UAE, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and other royal family members and Emirati dignitaries at the Mushraf Palace in Abu Dhabi, Mr. Naidu recalled the contributions of the late president of UAE. He said Sheikh Khalifa was a great world leader and a true friend of India. The Vice President also conveyed his best wishes to Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan on being elected as the President of the UAE. Recalling his visits to India and the recent historic Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement between India and UAE in February 2022, Mr. Naidu praised Sheikh Mohammed's dynamic approach and leadership. Mr. Naidu expressed confidence that India-UAE strategic partnership will continue to progress and reach new heights under the new President's leadership and guidance. The World Bank has approved $350 million aid for the system's reform endeavors for transformed health achievement in Gujarat, Shrestha Ji project. According to official sources, the Shrestha Ji project will be a $500 million project with $350 million support coming from the World Bank. It will include transforming key health delivery systems in the state.
India's Tourism and Culture Minister G. Kishan Reddy has said that the government is working towards a comprehensive national tourism policy to give an impetus to the tourism industry. During his address on the last day of the two-day India International Cruise Conference in Mumbai, Mr. Reddy urged the industry stakeholders to prepare a roadmap for the development of the cruise tourism industry.
I would request all the participants attending this important conference to prepare a proper roadmap for development of river tourism in India. Create an action plan for river cruising in a mission mode. For the first time after independence, we are now working towards the comprehensive Indian national tourism policy also.
Calling for international cruise operators to invest in the domestic cruise tourism industry, Mr. Reddy said that the government will facilitate all that is required to set up business in the country. He said that the conference discussed issues related to cruise hub development, policy infrastructure, capacity of river and sea tourism, among others. Union Minister for Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Sarbanand Sonowal, and various cruise services operators attended the event. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
In today's Hotspot section, we bring you a discussion by AIR News special program, India, the Country of Honour at Cannes Film Festival. It is worth to recall that India is the official country of honour at Cannes Film Market, Marché du Film, in the 75th edition of the festival. This is the first time this honour has been bestowed on any country and comes at a time when India celebrates its Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. AIR News Special Program, India, the Country of Honour at Cannes Film Festival. India's Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Mr. Anurag Thakur, has announced that India will be the official country of honour at the upcoming Marché du Film, organised alongside the 75th edition of Cannes Film Festival in France. Expounding the decision, the minister said, "It is the first time the Marché du Film has an official country of honour, and this special focus will continue annually with different nations in the spotlight at future editions." Notably, France and India are marking 75 years of their diplomatic ties. The Prime Minister's visit to Paris and meeting with President Macron takes even more significance in this context. It is in this significant diplomatic backdrop that India has been chosen as the country of honour at Marché du Film at the Cannes Film Festival. Elaborating on the announcement, Mr. Thakur said that the country of honour status thereby ensured India's presence as focus country at the opening night of Marché du Films being organised at the Majestic Beach with spotlight on India, its cinema, its culture and heritage. Adding Indian flavour to this night would be special performances by Indian choir bands along with folk music and fireworks. The cuisine served would be Indian as well as French. The minister further announced that India is also a country of honour at the Cannes Next, under which 5 new startups would be given an opportunity to pitch to the audio-visual industry. 10 professionals will participate on the Animation Day networking. In another highlight of India's participation at this edition of Cannes Film Festival is the world premiere of the movie Rocketry, produced by Sri R. Madhavan. The movie would be showcased at the Palais des Nations Festivals of the Market screening on the 19th May 2022. India has been given an opportunity to pitch 5 selected movies at the Goes to Cannes section. These movies are part of the Work in Progress Lab under the Film Bazaar. Baghjan by Jaichang Chai Dahutia, Bella Dila by Shailendra Sahu, Ek Jagah Apni, A Space of Our Own by Ek Tara Collective, Follower by Harshad Nalawade, Shivamma by Jaishankar. A cinema hall called the Olympia Screen has been dedicated to India on 22nd May 2022 for screening unreleased movies. These are 5 movies which have been selected under this category. India's celebration of centenary of Satyajit Ray continues at Cannes as remastered classic of Satyajit Ray classic Pratidwandi will be screened at the Cannes Classics section Cinema de la Plaja. A dedicated India Forum 1-hour conference is being organized at the main stage comprising of the leaders of the entertainment sector and would position India as the content hub of the world. The India Forum would be attended by hundreds of guests and would be live streamed online. Speaking on the features of India Pavilion this time, the Information and Broadcasting Minister said the pavilion will have the sole focus of branding India as content hub of the world. The pavilion would be inaugurated on the morning of 18th May 2022. It will showcase Indian cinema across linguistic, cultural and regional diversities of the country and will serve as networking platform for delegates from across the global community, aiming to establish international partnerships in film shooting, distribution, production, script development, technology, promoting film sales and syndication. Red carpet event at the 75th Cannes Film Festival is going to be a gala event for Indian audience as celebrities from the cine world across India are set to walk the red carpet as part of Indian delegation on the opening day of Cannes Film Festival 2022 on the 17th May this year. Union Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Mr. Anurag Thakur, will lead the delegation from India to Cannes. The list of celebrities comprises of stars from major music industries across India. The delegation will comprise actor and producer of Bollywood Akshay Kumar, international music composer A.R. Rahman, folk music composer and singer Maim Khan, actor Bollywood Nawazuddin Siddiqui, actress Malayalam and Tamil Nayantara, actress Hindi and Telugu Pooja Hegde, chairman CBFC Prasoon Joshi, actor and producer R. Madhavan, world premiere of Rocketry at Cannes, Mr. Ricky Cage, music composer, filmmaker Shekhar Kapoor, actress Hindi, Telugu and Tamil films Tamanna Bhatia, and actor Vani Tripathi. This year, the intent is to showcase the rich flavor and diversity of India, culture,
heritage, legacy and developments through its cinema. The delegation has been handpicked from across the length and breadth of the country to represent different strengths and aspects of the country. Several new initiatives were undertaken at the recently concluded 52nd International Film Festival of India, like collaboration with OTT platforms such as Netflix, Amazon Prime amongst others, recognition to 75 creative minds of tomorrow and the BRICS Film Festival. In the same spirit, several new and exciting initiatives are lined up this year for Cannes.
Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said he met U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Berlin and that more weapons and other aid are on the way to Ukraine. Mr. Kuleba was to brief NATO foreign ministers meeting in Berlin on Sunday on the ground situation in Ukraine. He was also to ask how the alliance can further help his country as it battles with Russian forces for a 12th week. Kuleba tweeted that they have agreed to work closely together to ensure that Ukrainian food exports reach consumers in Africa and Asia. He said he is grateful to Secretary Blinken and the U.S. for their leadership and unwavering support. U.S. State Department spokesperson Ned Price said that Secretary Blinken and Foreign Minister Kuleba discussed the impact of Russian military action in Ukraine, including global food security. Price also said Secretary conveyed details regarding the latest tranche of U.S. security assistance to bolster Ukraine's defenses. Finland's President Sauli Niinistö confirmed on Sunday that his country would apply for membership of the NATO military alliance in a historic policy shift prompted by Russia's military action in Ukraine. Moscow, which shares a 1,300-kilometer border with Finland, has said it would be a mistake for Helsinki to join the 30-member transatlantic alliance and that it would harm bilateral ties. Sunday's announcement comes after Niinistö and Prime Minister Sanna Marin said on Thursday they both favoured NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization membership, giving a green light for the country to apply. Mr. Niinistö told reporters in the presidential palace in Helsinki that he and the government's Foreign Policy Committee have decided that Finland will apply for NATO membership. Mr. Niinistö called Russian President Vladimir Putin on Saturday to tell him of Finland's plans to join the alliance. Mr. Putin said such a move would hurt Russian-Finnish relations. The Finnish president expressed readiness to hold talks with his Turkish counterpart Tayyip Erdogan after Ankara raised objections to the Nordic countries joining NATO. As a NATO member, Turkey could veto their applications.
In the United States, an 18-year-old white gunman shot 10 people to death and injured 3 on Saturday at a grocery store in a black neighborhood area of New York. Later, he surrendered to the police. Authorities called it an act of racially motivated violent extremism. Authorities said the suspect was armed with an assault-style rifle and appeared to have acted alone. News agencies report that 11 of the 13 people struck by gunfire were black. The 2 others were white. In Sri Lanka, newly appointed Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has inducted 4 ministers into his cabinet, including G.L. Peres as the Foreign Minister. Mr. Wickremesinghe sought to complete the government formation focusing on efforts to rebuild the economy. The all-important finance ministry post remains vacant at a time when Sri Lanka is in negotiations for a much-needed International Monetary Fund bailout. Sri Lanka's leader of opposition, Sajith Premadasa, in a letter to the newly appointed Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said that solutions to the economic and political crisis must be found in accordance with the wishes of the people. Meanwhile, protesters demanded the arrest of former Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa in fresh protest outside the PM's residence.
To celebrate International Museum Day, the National Gallery of Modern Art, New Delhi, is organizing a host of educational activities and programs under the theme of Power of Museums, as mentioned by the International Council of Museums. Here is a report.
Every year since 1977, International Council of Museums has been organizing an International Museum Day, which represents a unique event for the international museum community. The objective of this day is to raise awareness of the role that museums play as an important means of cultural exchange, enrichment of cultures, and development of mutual understanding, cooperation, and peace among people. The National Gallery of Modern Art will present week-long celebrations with the theme from 16th to 20th of this month. Two seminal exhibitions focusing on the modern masters of Indian art titled Hastantaran and Kshetragya will be inaugurated on 18th May by Culture and Tourism Minister G. Kishan Reddy. A series of guided walkthroughs and art workshops based on the art of Jamini Rao and Amrita Shergill will form the core of the interdisciplinary program. Under the auspices of the Cultural Exchange Program between India and Brazil, the exhibition titled Brasilia and the Construction of Modern Brazil will be inaugurated on Monday. Juliet Arakel, World News, All India Radio.
And now let's take a look at the major developments around the world as reported in the foreign press. First, take a look at the press reports on China. Prasar Bharati Beijing reports that China has pulled out of hosting next year's AFC Asian Cup due to COVID-19 situation in the country. In a statement, the Asian Football Confederation said their Chinese counterparts had told them they would not be able to host the tournament. A new host country would be confirmed soon, it added. Kyodo News writes, talks between Japan and China over Beijing's import ban on Japanese food products have not been held for over a year. As China has not responded to Japan's request for resuming the talks amid soured bilateral ties, it is uncertain when the ban will be lifted. CGTN reports that Shanghai will promote the resumption of business in stages under epidemic prevention measures from 16th May. SCMP says that Chinese people are embracing the digital yuan with a positive attitude. It also reports that China has stepped up efforts to promote the digital yuan with pilot programs.
Now let's have a look at the press reports on Nepal. Himalayan Times reports that an Indian couple who served at different health facilities in Ahmedabad has successfully scaled Mount Everest.
Now let's take a look at the press reports on Bangladesh. Bangladesh police arrested 45 local Jamaat-e-Islami leaders from a private school in Noakhali for reportedly holding a secret meeting against the government on Sunday, reports the Daily Star. During the drive, various types of books on promoting religious extremism were seized from the arrestees. Bangladesh Railways Minister Nurul Islam has said that the work of laying railway track on the Padma Bridge will start in July after the road connectivity opens in June, reports Prathamalo. Buddh Purnima, the biggest religious festival of the Buddhists, was celebrated on Sunday across the country with due religious fervour and zeal, reports BSS. On the occasion of Buddh Purnima, Bangladesh President M. Abdul Hamid and Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina issued separate messages and greeted the members of the Buddhist community as well as the countrymen.
Now a quick look at the headlines once again. Indian men's badminton team creates history, lifts Thomas Cup beating Indonesia 3-0 in Bangkok. Lakshya Sen, Kidambi Shrikant and duo of Chirag Shetty and Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy produced sterling performances. Prime Minister Narendra Modi speaks to the winning team, says nation is elated by the win which will motivate so many upcoming sports persons. Prime Minister to attend Buddh Jayanti celebrations at Lumbini in Nepal on Monday. India-UAE strategic partnership will progress and scale new heights, says Indian Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba says more US weapons and other aid are on way to Ukraine. Finland's President Sauli Niinistö confirms his country applying for membership of NATO. And now, before we end, let us listen to Mahatma Gandhi's favorite bhajan, Vaishnav Jan by artists from Nepal.